I'm joined by Emory and Henry College head coach Anne Crutchfield. They were picked number 3 in this year's ODAC preseason poll. Coach, let's talk about your team coming last year to this year. You're taking those next steps. You're getting deeper and deeper into the tournament here.
Right.
Let's look at your squad. Talk about last year's squad coming into this season practice and what maybe makes you think that this is the year they could take that next step.
Well, one of the nice things about this year's team that we haven't had in recent years is the fact we have some experience. We lost Megan Jacoby, our point guard, and there's no way you replace Megan. Megan, I think, was one of the premier point guards in Division III. So just finding the right fit for that spot. Your point guard drives the machine, and Megan was so instrumental in that, played 38 minutes a game. But right now, Maisha Logan's doing a really good job at that position. She's a junior, and she's played behind Megan for a long time, and that made Maisha much better every day. But we have some experience back. Obviously we have Taylor Blevins back, who's an all-conference player, and she's a junior now. In the last 2 years, we've had to play a lot of freshmen, and they've got a lot of experience under their belt now. So we're really excited about where we are, and I think a good test for us will be how well we can just play well together and find out how to make everything work without Megan on the floor.
When you take a look at your squad, and now this being your 4th year with the team, what's changed maybe since that first season, that there's a different culture, different philosophy you've been able to develop, and it really is the players now teaching the players and you have to do less teaching? Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think 4 years ago, it had been a while since Emory and Henry had been a winning program, and I think now the expectation is that we will win. I think that's probably the biggest difference. We've been able to enjoy some success in the last couple of years, and now that we have a taste of what it's like to win, nothing else is acceptable for us. And I think that's been a big change just in the culture of the program as a whole. And I think, Emory and Henry sits in a unique part of Virginia, and I think finding the kids that are the right fit for Emory and Henry, kind of getting back to our roots, recruiting heavily locally, but mixing in some players from other locations. So I think we have a good mix too. But the blue-collar work ethic of Southwest Virginia, I think, really spills over into the culture of our team, and I think our young ladies have bought into that.
And let's take a look at the league perspective here now as we look at your squad, where you think they fit into, but also look at the league in general. We've had the same 2 teams in the title game the last couple of years. Maybe that maintains again for another one, or are we in stake, or are we up for a change maybe coming this season?
The thing about the ODAC, it's such a competitive conference. Any team can win on any given night in the ODAC. I think there's a lot of parity in our conference. You have to show up and play well. You can't take any team for granted, top through the bottom. And road games are particularly hard. Home games, the crowds. We have great crowds for women's basketball, particularly Division III women's basketball. So I think the ODAC as a whole has a lot to be proud of. And also, too, just the level of play in the conference. I think when you look particularly at some of the other Division III conferences, we're very fortunate to have the high level of play that we do.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining me today. Good luck this season.
Thank you.